Hey everybody, it's Monkeypuzzle, and it's time for some more Direwolf20 FTB here on the Primus Server. How y'all doing? I'm doing great. I'm very excited. The channel is up past 900 subscribers now, 904 when I last looked, so that is amazing. It makes me want to bang my head on the ceiling. Oh my god. So I got mostly some stuff to show you today. And then, if there's time, we shall do some stuff. Let me take a glance at the clock, which I often forget to do. Oh yeah, let's harvest the ender pearls. What do you say? And I feel short. Am I myself? I am. With my little bat wing, dragon wings there. We got the angel ring last time, so I can fly. Look me in the eye there. So yeah, let's harvest these. One upgrade I've done to this process is I've got Fortune 3 on an Invar sickle now. So it's easy to harvest them. And I don't know if I get extra pearls, but I found it increases my rate of getting the extra Ender Lily seeds. Eventually I want to automate this process. I could put the farming station on it right now, but I've given myself the challenge of trying to get the golems in Thaumcraft to do that. And we shall do that soon. I almost did it today, but I don't think I have enough time, and I don't want to do it just as a tail end thing to the episode. But I have been scanning like crazy, so I've got stuff to tell you about that. I've been studying my Thaumonomicon, and I also have been checking out the Lexica Botania, and I've been doing some studying on Botania, and I was going to start that today as well, not all at the same time, but Direwolf just did that yesterday, so I don't want to act like I'm imitating Dire. So let me see, what should I show you first? Well, let me start with the thing that I'm most excited about. Oh yeah, let me dump these off. And yeah, the thing I'm most excited about is all the way down here. Bam! I've got a blaze farm. So I showed you the beginning of this last time. Let me turn on my night vision so you can see a little bit better. That comes with my dark helm. Got the night vision on there. And yeah, so this is the thing here, and I mentioned it before, but I don't think many people know about this, and if they did, I think it would really catch on. If you put the cursed earth under a spawner, at least a vanilla spawner. Oh, nice hairdo. I see all these hats in there, and I want to go get them, but yeah, leave them alone. If you put cursed earth under a spawner, that spawner doesn't need you to AFK within 16 blocks anymore. So I could go all the way down here. I could go anywhere. In fact, since this base is chunk loaded, I can even leave the server. In fact, I do, and this keeps running. So it acts like an MFR auto spawner, but it's not using any power. It's not using any mob juice at all to run. It's just the vanilla mechanics minus the need to be within 16 blocks. And you don't need to have two spawners. I'm just being greedy and getting more blazes that way. Just any old spawner with the cursed earth underneath, and you can do that trick. So I haven't seen anybody do that. It was actually very obscure where I saw the information for that. Just one reply to somebody in a forum, and I checked it out, and it works. So this is cool. What else can I show you about this? We got the dark glass on here, which is why I can look in it, but it's still completely dark in there. And to shut the thing off, I love doing this. I got a whole bunch of drawbridges, 16 drawbridges up there, all full of glowstone, because blaze spawners take an extra amount of light to turn off. I think every spawnable space around it has to be light level 12 or higher, so it can only be 2 spaces away from the glowstone. So if you come out 1, 2, that has to be 12. So they have to be at least this close. So we got that going on, and then I've got this all pumping into my ME system. Oh, let me turn my magnet off because I'm always trying to attract things when I'm here. I put this box of blaze rods here for the guys. If anybody wants to take some, take as many as you want. Got a little trophy right there. And down here we got the little killing room with the showers of mob juice. You can go in here and get night vision as well. And that's what mob juice does for you. But it's just made mainly just to make it look indicative of the bounty of the mob essence we're getting from this. And the way I'm doing that is with the good old autonomous activator with a Manulin scythe in it. And I use the scythe because it has a 3x3 area of effect, and it can kill more than one mob at once, as you saw just prior to that. I have to be a little careful because the 3x3 is centered apparently on the autonomous activator. So if I stand right here, I can get hit, but that's okay. I have to scooch them a little bit forward with more conveyor belts to get them up here. But yeah, let me see. This thing I put on, I put a full lapis for the looting 3, which is what's giving us so much stuff. I put on as much quartz as I could so that it's a one-hit kill with plus 20 attack damage. And I put a leadstone energy cell on it so that it can turn my helmet vision back on, so it can be charged up rather than having to repair it again with Manulin. And whenever it needs to get charged, I've set it to get sucked out of here automatically with this Ender IO conduit using, oops, there we go, I got hit, using the advanced filters. And you need the zombie controller head, that fancy zombie head, to make these that you make with the slice and splice. And the whole episode where I made the slice and splice, I can barely say that, I was calling it the slice and spice, which is funnier, I think, but not correct. And the slice and splice makes more sense. Anyway, that's an aside. So in here, I've got it set up where, see the number after 5470, there's the colon 4. That number keeps going up as the scythe takes more damage. Let's see what the scythe is at right now. It's at 2. You saw it just kind of flip there. And a few more kills, it'll be 3, and then it'll be 4. When it gets to 4, it's then whitelisted to get sucked out here. And that number I was talking about, that's metadata. And number after the colon. And MBT data is information about this that you can't see. All the rest of that stuff that it's telling us. And so I have it set just to pay attention to the metadata, and it gets sent into this capacitor, where it gets charged up right in here, and then it's whitelisted to get pulled out when it's fully charged. Notice there's no colon after the number at that point, and that's the fully charged state. And then it is, let's see if we can watch this happen. No, it's taking too long. And then in here, inside this facade, you can see it goes back in here again. It's whitelisted to be inserted when it's fully charged. So that goes there. And I used a capacitor because I had originally done this with an energetic infuser from thermal expansion. And it would go into the first slot and get charged, but it would not pass for some reason into the charge slot and get pulled out. And Aaron B came and fiddled with this some with me as well. And we got it working. So now that it successfully charges itself up. And I wish I could show it happening, but we're not there yet. Other things going on here are, I've got the vacuum chest that's sucking up all the blaze rods and the trophies, and we've even been getting a ton of hearts out of this as well. So that all goes straight into the ME through the ender chest. It's just right under there. I keep looking to see how much damage. Oh, we're at 3. So pretty soon, actually, that's going to get sucked out. And then I've got a sewer in there, and this pressurized fluid conduit was coming out here and filling a whole bunch of drums. Did it do it? Not yet. A whole bunch of drums in here. I had 16 drums on it. But it turns out that this thing is so lucrative that was not enough. I couldn't leave it running overnight. They would all fill up, and then all the XP would just be piling up in here, causing lag. Come on, get damaged. So instead now, I've got it just going straight into the Tesseract, and it's doing the liquid transfer through the Tesseract, and I'll show you in a second where that's going. I'm just going to hang out here for a second, and as soon as it hits 4, we'll check out what it's doing. There it is. You saw it got pulled out. It's now in there for a moment, getting all charged up, and it takes a while to charge, so I set it so it didn't came in without a whole lot of use on it, because then there's less of a delay. That was only of, you know, maybe 5 seconds from the time it left here till it was put back in. If I let it use up more charge, it would charge less often, but there would be a delay. The blazes build up, and then while it's just punching them with its autonomous activator fist, you saw the blazes get all mad. Not that they can do a whole lot, but don't want them to build up in here at all. And yeah, the blazes have some particle effects too. I think that's the result of the cursed earth that's underneath their spawners up there. So yeah, that was one of the things I had to do to make this be able to run indefinitely, was the charging of the tool, so that lasts forever. The other thing was making sure that all the items get picked up and there's enough storage for them, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And the third thing was to make sure I could pick up all the XP. So ditch the drums and send them into the Tesseract, and then I'll show you where those are going, and that's the part I think that is the most fun. So down here at bedrock level, I've done something kind of simple but kind of crazy. I don't see many people do this. You know, I didn't have a liquid storage solution in the pack that was good enough for me besides the bedrockium drum, which I'm not set up to make yet. And it's not very fun either. It's just kind of a magic drum where you can stick 256 by 256 worth of barrels versus the regular drum, which is 256, not barrels, but buckets of fluid. So a bucket of fluid is just one block, right? This little chunk I quarried out here, well, it's actually 4 chunks. It's 32 by 32. So each single layer of fluid here is equal to the capacity of 4 of those drums. As the drum is a 16 by 16 single layer, 16 by 16 is 256. So each layer here is 4 drums worth of storage, and I figured out all the way to the top at just the height this is, I can fit about 138 drums worth of storage, and you get to see it all. So I'm doing this with a, if I can fly again, there we go, with a Buildcraft floodgate right over here. And if you don't know, those are just simple devices. They don't take any power. That just when you pump a fluid into them, turns it back into the source blocks in the world. And on top of here, I got the Tesseract that's just matched up with the one over there, pumping fluid out. And yeah, there it is. The downside to this is if you get lag from the flowy blocks, but this is doing it layer by layer. It actually seems pretty efficient. That's not a whole lot of flowing blocks of liquid. There's more than that out in the world around me with the caves, with the water and the lava and stuff like that. So I think this is pretty cool. It's pretty cheap storage solution, and it's pretty fun. And you can do this. You can go swimming in Mob Essence. It seems a little gross because it's green, but it's just the XP, right? That should be a nice thing to swim in. You get the night vision in it. And, every time I need to just chill out and relax, I'll just come in here and go swimming. And it's kind of appropriate. Real life quarries tend to build up water in the bottom of them, and they tend to become swimming holes too. So yeah, I just put a wall of glass in front of here, and we're good to go with the Mob Essence storage. And now it can run quite a while. Eventually it will fill up, but it'll take a lot longer to do that than it did with the drums. So let's now talk about the blaze rods. There we go. One level up. Bye, you guys. Let's go on up all the way. I'll stop flying. Sorry for the blue particles. So let's check out in the ME. We are up to 59,642 blaze rods. I think when I started this project a day ago, I had less than a stack. So they're building up at an incredible rate. Obviously faster than I'm using them at the moment. So we're going to have to make some power systems when we need more power with these blaze rods. Although there's not a big rush for that, because you can see here I have 328,000 firwood planks from my little tree farm up there. So we're netting quite a surplus of those. And that same tree farm is also giving me 127,000 sawdust, which could be converted into charcoal, and I've got 74,000 fir saplings, which could be turned into some sort of biomass, biofuel, ethanol, fuel as well. So we've got quite a bit of potential power sources right now. We're just burning the firwood planks and the Stirling engines. So that's great, but the next thing to talk about is that was quite a bit of storage. My little ME system up here, you can see I've just got 2 drives worth of 4K storage cells, was getting all full up. I was down to the last drive, only had a little bit of room on it. And I almost put 2 more drives full of 20 more 4K storage cells, but I said, wait a minute, let's just throw everything in DSUs. So before I had the cobble DSU and the dirt DSU. Now we've got fir planks and sawdust and the fir saplings and the blaze rods. And I had room for one more here, so I put gravel in it. Although at this point, I could have actually, I have more essence berries than gravel. It's a great thing to be able to say. And cotton is creeping up behind there. When I do some more quarrying, this will change. It'll build up. So what that leads to is then talking about the ME system a little bit more, because each one of these is on a storage bus, and I actually started to exceed the number of channels that the ME system has. Now I do have a controller on here, and without a controller, you can have 8 channels on an ME system. That's 8 different things that use a channel, like a drive uses 1 channel, a monitor uses 1 channel. I'm not sure if an I/O port uses a channel or not. I use this. This takes things in and out of the system. And after I pulled all that stuff out in the DSUs, I put on the export bus to take everything off the drives and put them in the DSUs. And then I changed it to storage buses so that it would then be part of the ME system. This was just all a mess in here. So I took the drives out one by one and put them back in here to be sent back into the ME network so that all my stuff, the data, would be compiled from the beginning, and then the end would be free again. So just did that to make sure there wasn't duplication and to free up more space. So now I have this whole thing free again, which is awesome. There's still plenty of storage in here as well. It's just maxed out with the orange on the number of items. So this isn't a very fancy ME system. Some of the guys on the server might not even call it a real ME system, but just one little thing that came up with it, and I just wanted to show you, was about managing, like I said, the number of channels. And I started to talk about it. So without the ME controller, you can have 8 channels, 8 things on it that use a channel. With the controller, you can use 32. But the Fluix cable, the regular purple Fluix cable, this stuff right here, can only handle 8 channels. So I actually had to move up to the dense cable, and it took me a while to figure out how to use it because it wasn't working, and I was making a simple error that I had it touching this group of blocks here, but I didn't have it directly touching the ME controller, which it has to be doing. So I then got it all the way in there touching, and you can look at this, and you can either count the number of stripes, or you can also just, if you have Wayla on, it'll tell you, and I think that is easier for me to see. So it's 11 of 32 channels is going through here. So I had surpassed what I could do on Fluix cable by 3. And then from here, it branches off down below to those terminals and to the storage buses. Sorry for the little bit of, what do you call that, warp from Thaumcraft. So yeah, it branches off here. So from here on, I just use smart cable, and I started using that instead of the straight Fluix cable because I can count how many channels there are on it. Each lighter blue stripe counts as a channel, and then it'll start doing these color stripes, the kind of light mauve. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as it goes to each storage bus on the DSU, you can see the number goes down. So no big deal really, but just something I learned, just one more thing I had to wrap my head around. So just wanted to show you that real quick. So I wonder how much time I have left. Let me check real quick and we'll figure out what's happening next. I got a little bit of time left, but I'll try not to go overtime on this one. So yeah, next episode, we'll dive into Thaumcraft some more and get some really cool stuff going on with that. Today, I have one little simple thing I can show you that I learned, is that if you pump liquid XP into a fluid transposer and you put bookshelves in it, you get the magical wood, which is a lot easier, I think, if you've got tons of liquid XP than the usual recipe for magical wood. Let me pull up magical wood right here. This one, that's the recipe I'm used to, and you have to enchant all these books. You can set that up automatically, but you don't have to with this, and we can get all this magical wood, which is useful for a number of things. One of them is each one of them counts as 5 bookcases. Yep. Hey. Reckon now. So yeah, I can enchant up to 30 just like this. The other thing that I know they're usually good for is making the ender quarry, which I'm going to do in a second. And the third thing that I found out they're good for is if you put them around a golden bag of holding. Let's make another one here, because I'm not sure that I want to use the one I've got yet. This one's full of stuff, and I named it bag 1, so I'll be able to tell it from this one. But if you put one of these magical woods on either side of this, you get reincarnating 1, which means if I die, this will still be in my inventory. And I've realized I forgot to keep carrying my charm of keeping from the Twilight Forest, but this will keep this in here. So, you know, we have gravestones, so it's not really that necessary. But if there's a bad guy over by your gravestone, you need something out of here first, it'll just stay in your inventory. And I wonder, should I take the risk? It says bag 1. Oh my god. Okay, let's do it. I got all my stuff still? I do. Excellent. So that stuff will come back to me if I die. It'll still be in my inventory. Let me throw this stuff in here. And real quickly, let's go ahead and make an ender quarry at this point. So I actually never even used my buildcraft quarry yet because it crashed in the Twilight Forest when I tried to use it. But we need to make all this stuff. So I need ender infused obsidian. And we're also going to need to make something called a QED later. So we're going to need quite a bit of this. I figured out I need at least 20. Let's make 28. That should be plenty. And this is all pretty expensive stuff, but we have it at this point. So this is what we need the magical wood for here. Let's go ahead and do that. We need 2 of those. So let's throw those in. You can also grow the ender lilies on those, but we don't need to do that. And need endothermic pumps. So I got the stuff to do that. 2 of those. And then what else do we need? We need this thing. Burnt quartz. This is basically just a smelted quartz block. And I went ahead and made 4 of those already too. So then that's the center thing. Pretty fancy looking, right? Let's check that out. I just want to look at that. Ooh, diamond etched computational matrix. Very nice. Oop. Busting my place up. We'll just leave that there for now. And let's throw this in there. Get rid of that. Are we set to make our ender quarry now? Or an Edner quarry? Let's see. Get the Q in there. And, oh, I bet we're going to need the diamond pickaxe. Oh, we have one. Okay. So there we go. The ender quarry. So that is going to help us quarry without hollowing out giant chunks of land. It's a really low maintenance way of doing it. It just turns everything into dirt, and you get everything but dirt from it. And you can just do it over a piece of natural terrain, and it'll still keep looking good, except for wherever there was stone or anything besides dirt, it will be turned to dirt, and it keeps all the natural stuff. So I'm going to set up a quarry like that. But to set up those quarries easily nowadays, you don't have to use fences anymore. You can use markers. But to make those markers, you need a QED, which is kind of a fancy crafting thing for extra utilities ender quarries. So I think we have everything in here but that. Let's make another one of those. Let's see if I can do this now. Oh, I need a crafting table, believe it or not, of all things. So let's throw a few of those. In fact, let's make all the crafting tables I will ever need in this pack. There they are. And since we have so much fur, there's no point in not doing it. So there's the QED. Let's keep that on us. And now, to power that, we need these special kind of crystal things. The Enderflux crystals. And they look like that. So I need a few more of these. Let's, can I click R on that? Nope. Okay, let's go back to the recipe thingy-do and click on that. Let's make some more of those and make these. So how many of those do I get? I get 2. Okay, I need more eyes. Let's make a bunch of eyes. Let's do that and go back to this and make some more of those. Okay, we got 6 of them. That's pretty good. Let's put this maybe, I don't know where. I can put it here for now. I'll probably move it, but let's get rid of that. And these need to be nearby somewhere. How nearby? I don't know. If we do that, does that work? And what did I lose? Oh, that one went down there somehow. Okay. And nope. Yes. Can I flip these around? No, it wants to be like that. Okay, so we'll put this down here and we'll put that there. Can I make stuff in here now? So to make the marker for this thing, we need those things. So let me grab those. I should have just grabbed it from here. I need these. So the ender of infused obsidian. Let me see if I got more of those. Yeah, those. Let's make more. Ender infused obsidian. Oh, it needs a dash. How about an ender dash? There we go. More of those. A lot of them. Okay. So now in here, we should be able to do something like that. And will it make them? I've never done this, so hopefully I can figure this out on camera real quick. Yeah, that looks right. It's not getting power somehow from these, so obviously I don't know what I'm doing with these. Give me a second, I'll figure it out. I'll be right back. Alright, that was a derp. This was not an Eye of Ender. It's just an Ender Pearl. So it tells me I'm making an Ender marker. Makes a really annoying noise. All these machines that make noise, I work so hard to take the buzz out of my videos, and they all try to put white noise back into them. I've turned the noise off for most of the machines with my configs. So I'm going to make these, and then we'll set it up, and we'll be done. I'll just show it to you set up, and that will be that. Alright, see ya to close out in a second. So these are all done now. We've got our Ender markers, kind of like the landmarks for BC builders, or pretty much just like them. So Ender quarries didn't have these before. You had to use fences. And I'm going to go get this ready to go. One thing I wanted to talk about real quick is about where I quarry, my choice of the place. I want to go somewhere where I can get emeralds, because so far, the way I've been getting emeralds, I must admit, is because now, with the Cheaty Weedy Easy Emeralds. Can I open? Yep. Thanks to Botania, villagers and certain other mobs, or NPCs, like chickens, shed things. So these guys shed emeralds occasionally. And used to be I would just pick up 1 or 2 from the ones that were locked up over there by the smeltery. But now in Fuego set this up where there's a bunch of them standing on hoppers. And there's lots of them. So far I've taken a stack. I feel mildly guilty about that. So let's go rectify that. So I'm going to do it in an extreme hills biome. And I found this one over here. I've been doing a lot more exploring now that I can fly. I've been going around getting botania flowers and all kinds of things that we're going to use later. But also scouting around. So I'm going to try to do this without messing up the look of this place too much. I don't want to turn all this nice stone into dirt. So I picked kind of this valley space in between, and I brought some of the good old Buildcraft landmarks with me and some levers to help me kind of scope it out here, get those blue marker lines, because the Ender Quarry markers don't do that. But I believe that if you get this little purple stuff, that tells you that you set it up right. So let's see if I can pull this off the first time. I'll be pretty amazed if I do. But I think you can just place it just like you would normally. Yes. All right. Successfully established boundary. That's fantastic. So then I think all we need to do, hopefully, is let's go ahead and place this on there. And 0 scan because it doesn't have energy yet. So that's the catch-all ender chest. And then let's give it, see if I can place it, some power. So we want monkey channel 13. And let's see what it's doing. It's receiving all. We'll just want to receive energy, not that it really matters. And then, all right, it should be working. So it has 57 blocks scanned already. Now there's 101. It should be getting plenty of power. Let me just, I don't need these anymore. It's hard to break these markers, the landmarks nowadays. Anyway, I'll get that all cleaned up. And wherever the particle effects are happening is where it's quarrying. So yeah, we're going to go all the way over to here. And as far as this side here, so this whole rectangle should be being quarried. And you know, the Ender Quarry is different than the Buildcraft Quarry, that it doesn't actually excavate. It's just changing things to dirt. It goes from top down in columns, only one chunk loaded at a time. So it's really server friendly that way, setup friendly, and it should be good to go. I have no idea where it's happening. Oh, probably there. Yep, there it is. So we have gone this far so far, and it's gone all the way to bedrock each time. So this little bit of stone is going to be turned to dirt, but I think we can live with that. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate all the support, all the subscribing. Please make sure to keep liking the episodes because that really helps other people find them. And yeah, I'm looking forward to all your comments as I usually do. And this is Monkeypuzzle, and I'm signing out as the goods come in. Do some more stuff next time. Bye-bye.